All right, so it is Wednesday, October 8th at 6:32 p.m., so I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. This is the first meeting of the newly formed Playground Committee, so I figured maybe first I'd go over the responsibilities of the committee, and then the rest of the agenda we can do whichever order you all feel most comfortable in, but at some point it might be good to kind of elect who's going to be the chair, the vice chair, and the clerk of the committee. Oh, that's great. I hope the microphone got that.
Oh,
We could use you at some select board meetings.
yeah, right.
So basically, the playground committee was formed to make sure that we stay on top of the maintenance of the playgrounds, given what's happened over the last few years, and make sure that we stay focused and on top of making sure that we get all the kids' playgrounds up to ADA compliance and that we never fall behind again. So I think the goal of the committee is to, stay organized and have an open line of communication between town employees and the residents. So we have residents on the committee, and then we also have liaisons from multiple boards as well. So maybe we could just start by going around, introducing ourselves. I guess we go counterclockwise, so I'll just go first. So I'm Steve Darcy. I'm on the select board and I'm your liaison.
I'm Sean Patterson. I'm the current DPW superintendent, but I am retiring in December of this year. Ken will be taking over my position, and Matt will be in his position, so you'll be in good hands going down the road, but it's been a challenge, but a pleasure to get this finally off the ground.
My name is Colleen Hubbles, and I'm on the playground committee.
Kathleen Brown, and I think I'm on the playground, or the Tower Playground Committee. I don't know.
Hi, I'm Erin Carey. I don't know if I'm on the committee, but I love a playground.
I'm Dominique Dyke. I'm on the Playground Committee and the ADA Committee.
Diane Kennedy, I'm on the ADA committee and playground committee.
Jim Kennedy, I'm on the playground committee.
And I am Matt Kidlin. I am one of the town engineers.
And I'm Ken Ryan, I'm the town engineer.
Perfect. Okay, so I figured maybe we'll get to the most important stuff first. Maybe we could start with just an update on the status of the playground equipment at the library and, what's been going on over there recently. I don't know if you want to take that up.
Yeah, so I've not had a chance to talk to Andrew about it, but I guess there's some pieces of equipment that need to be repaired. So we're looking into getting that done in a short fashion. Andrew, we couldn't be here tonight, but he is going to be on the committee. We need somebody that has some enforcement and also can notify the committee and us what needs to be done going further. I'll just leave it at that. That's where we're at right now with that.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so Diane Jordan is also one of the liaisons to this board from the Board of Public Works, and then Andrew is a member of this board as the building commissioner, and he is now a certified playground instructor, so he'll be invaluable, and I know that you've all worked with Andrew very closely and know him very well. Did you guys have any questions about the playground equipment at the library in particular before we jump into a general update?
No.
Okay. You just want to dive into kind of a general status and progress report?
I'm going to turn that over to Matt because he's the one that's working very hard on this.
Perfect.
Yeah, so the first round of what we did is we went into contract with Childscapes. We used the mass vendor list in order to streamline the bidding process and make sure that we could get everything done before school started. So we did. They were contracted to resurface 4 playgrounds, and they were contracted to put them in, put the surfacing in as ADA compliant, as well as making sure that they maintained ADA compliance to all the different playground equipment there. So we did got the rear playground. The rear playground at Daniel Webster was resurfaced with poured-in-place rubber, and that already had ADA access at the front of the playground. We resurfaced Ames Way, which was half wood chips and half rubber surfacing, and that was installed and made ADA compliant We resurfaced Governor Winslow, which was rubber surfacing, but which was old and needed to be replaced. So we replaced that, and we also installed an ADA compliant walkway over there because there was some pavement that was ripped up and there wasn't any ADA compliant walkway over there. So we did install that. And then we just finished up Tower Ave. We did poured in place rubber there as well. And then we loamed and seeded around all of these playgrounds. So that wrapped up our first round of surfacing. The contract came in at $426,879.76, which leaves $323,120.24 that's left from that $750,000 that we got from the CPC in the spring. So that is as far as we've gotten so far. So that's how much money we have left to get the rest of these playgrounds surfaced. And then we can always go ask for more money from CPC down the line.
Which we're thinking about doing in the spring,
Yes.
because they had so many different requests this fall. I was told like $4 million worth of requests. So in good faith, you want to try and give everybody else a bite at the apple, because people let us do our thing and get the money when we need it right away, so we can get done what we got done so far. But I think at least it's a good chunk of money to get through the winter and get some other stuff done, and focus on which playgrounds we're gonna continue to resurface down the road in the spring.
Perfect. And just for context, so CPC is the Community Preservation Committee. So that is a committee in town where basically most communities in the state have opted into the Community Preservation Act, which is an additional surtax that we pay on our property taxes, and that funds the Community Preservation Committee. And that's interesting because that's really the only committee in town that has its own independent funding source. And so they have a lot of money that they can use towards things like fields and playgrounds. And so CPC is kind of in a lockbox where that money can only be used for open space, recreational, affordable housing, and historical. So that's why, we've been going to CPC to help with the playgrounds. But another important distinction too is that CPC money can only be used to purchase new equipment or to bring something up to ADA compliance. It can't be used for maintenance. So one of our long-term goals as well as a committee will be to kind of put together a maintenance budget and a game plan to help address that. And I don't know if you saw a recent meeting we had with the advisory board where there was a discussion about whether CPC money could be used to replace a broken swing. It can't. That would be considered maintenance. Maybe you could replace the entire swing set itself with CPC money, because that's a new structure, but something like a broken swing set would have to be maintenance funds. So, that'll be one of our long-term goals as well, to put together a maintenance budget so this doesn't happen again where we kind of fall behind or it slips through the cracks. So based on those updates, does anybody have any questions or comments?
I didn't think I needed to be in here. Sorry.
Did they
I thought it was
see them this past week or so, because we were at TWS like last week or so for the picnic, and there was no grass or anything behind the rubber flooring?
They did seed, I believe, but I don't think that they were watering them or anything, I guess, so I don't know if any grass has came up yet. I know that it used to be like stone dust out there. I don't know if we want to look at maybe putting the stone dust back, or if we want it to be grass. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever you guys think would be best.
Yeah, I don't think it was watered. They got plenty of water today, as we all know. It's gonna take some time. Well, with these cool nights, you're gonna see the grass start popping up. We'll be planted it.
So, as far as like if there are broken swings now and there's a maintenance, like how are we fixing broken things?
So,
What's it coming out of?
if the committee finds a deficiency in a piece of equipment, it should be reported to Andrew Stewart, the building commissioner, and then he alerts us.
Okay.
We want to have a chain
Yep.
that everybody follows, so there's no going in different directions, and it gets right to the point, you know, doesn't fall by the wayside. So that was one of the things I wanted to bring up, is, you know, Andrew was gonna be doing the inspections, and if you guys find something, report it to him. I would suggest via email, and copy us on it so we all know, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, we were actually working on, with Andrew and trying to kind of figure out what would be the best way for people to, you know, bring up these concerns. And, because he does have a form for building stuff that you fill out and, you know, express your concerns. So we're looking at maybe trying to make our own. That way, if someone has found an issue, they can go and fill this form out and they can send it to Andrew. And that way Andrew can go and do an inspection on it. And then he'll say, you know, this is unsafe or this is fine, and then he'll send that over to us, and then we can kind of figure out what we're gonna do to fix it.
I have a comment on this.
Yeah.
So maybe you might know, Steve, so the select board hasn't reached out to him yet, checked with them, to let him know that he's on as a, what's it called?
Liaison?
Not a liaison.
It's like a ex officio member of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah,
was, yeah,
ex officio.
ex officio. So he said that the select board hasn't reached out to him yet to let him know that, so he needs that to happen. But also, he has to be assigned as the playground inspector in order to be able to do these things. So how is that gonna be best accomplished, or, because the select board will have to do that?
Yeah,
Any ideas on that?
yeah, so basically what I can do is I can send an email to our staff and CC the other board members. Because it's okay to reach out and request something to be added to an agenda as long as we don't discuss it outside of the meeting. So what I'll do is I'll send an email and request that, you know, we put that on the agenda to officially appoint him as the inspector, and I'll let him know as well that on July 14th, it was voted that he would be an ex officio member of the playground committee. So on August 22nd, you were all appointed as members, and on July 14th, we created the committee with the number of slots available for residents, and then appointed Andrew as a member of the committee as the building commissioner. So that's all squared away, which is good, but I can make sure that on our next agenda that, you know, we officially appoint him as, you know, our inspector and let him know that he is squared away, yeah.
Yeah, and he hasn't received anything letting him know that he's part of the committee. So he needs to actually get something, I guess an email or something, and, you know, something.
I can take care of that.
But I have a comment too about what you were just talking about, Matt. So we talked about it, Board of Public Works meeting with some of the members about signage. So the form that will eventually be in place for reporting damages or broken things, can that address, is that like an address that can go on a sign? So that, because I just think it's gonna be difficult for a mom, you know, or a dad or a grandparent or whatever to see a piece of something broken, then have to go to town hall to fill out the form. So there has to be a more seamless way.
Yeah, I think that
Or a number, any, yeah.
what we were thinking is that, you know, because they're gonna call someone, and we're thinking what we're gonna do is have this form, and we can even put it on our website so it's easily accessible, and we'll send out an email to basically everyone that works for the town, just letting them know, every department, that, hey, if someone calls you, because some people call Trees and Greens, some people call us, some people call Recreation Department. So it's just kind of, what we really need to do is get this in place and kind of tell everyone, hey, this is where you go for these issues. So when people call, we say, okay, go on the website, fill this out, and email it over to Andrew, or even the form will say, email it to whatever Andrew's email is.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's,
But- I mean, so something will be on a sign that will direct people to make the report with Andrew. Or with the building
we-
commissioner, whoever that is, if it's, you know, 20 years from now.
Yeah, we'll have to think of.
Can you
think
do
about
something
that.
like a QR code with a Google form? And that's
Yeah,
really
that's
easy
what I was-
for
yeah.
them.
That's what I was thinking, but we're not the IT folks. so,
I know.
we
The
can-
IT.
We can talk to IT, but I
Yeah,
was thinking
that's-
somewhere along that line.
That should link and it's accessible to everybody. They can
Mhm.
fill it out, they can put
Yeah.
their information and it'll go directly to him, no matter what playground they're at.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some kinks to work out on that, but I think we can.
We'll talk to IT about
Yeah.
that, because they'll be the ones that'll set that up. We're not conversant with all the firewalls and security that the town has.
Yeah.
We'll figure
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it clear
Give it to
that
them.
there'll be something on a sign that's a direct contact to the building department, rather
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
the DPW or recreate, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we dealt with before, calls went everywhere, nobody ever got the message, so.
And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, and there is an existing link that we could probably use to have IT embed in a QR code and put up on a sign.
Yeah.
So you guys might be familiar with this already, but I think Sean definitely is. It used to be more prominent on the website, and we can have that fixed again. But there's a citizen request form that you can fill out, and it is distributed to the facilities director, Fred Russell. And what Fred does is, if he feels it's a DPW issue, he passes that along to Sean. And if he feels that it's a, school issue, another town building facility related issue, he'll tackle it. So, it does exist, and it was rolled out, but I don't think as much attention has been drawn to it as, there should be. So that citizen request form exists, so we could probably repurpose it into a QR code to post at each playground for folks to scan and report something, and then make it more prominent on the town's homepage too, because the idea was that you could use that for anything from, a pothole that's on your street that you wanted to report, or you're at the library and there's a broken hand dryer
Yeah.
or something like that. So that was the goal of it. So I don't know if you wanted to speak to that more, Sean.
Oh, the system that Fred has? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot to put the Zoom on.
You're totally good.
It's called the,
Citizen request form or something?
yeah, it's another name too, Spice. A lot of, he gets a lot of emails and he generates them to the different departments where it's supposed to go. You're right, potholes, trees, paving issues. So that's another resource, I think it is a citizen's, request.
Yeah, because I know there was a time where it was like its own icon and toggle on the town website homepage.
And it was Spice,
Yeah.
Spice Works.
Yeah.
So I'm not positive, I haven't got one in a while, but that's what we used to use,
Okay.
to generate different complaints to different departments that need to be addressed.
Yeah, so I could reach out to IT on that front
Yeah.
as well and just connect everyone.
Yep. That's another good way of doing it. Again, it's the first meeting, so we're trying to get everything off the ground, but there are gonna be some different ideas and thoughts to go into this.
Do you have any other questions or comments that folks wanted to add?
In general, or,
Sure.
just talk about, what's going on with the fence at Daniel Webster? The kids cannot play outside, that needs to be enclosed, and it currently is not very safe.
Well,
So I just was wondering if you could like brainstorm something that could work for everybody.
we did get some temporary fence that I guess they didn't like.
Have you seen it?
Have I seen it?
Yeah.
I have.
Oh, would you put your kid out there that has potential to like run away or get hurt?
Well, I have my grandsons that drive off stone walls and everything with their bicycles, so I guess I look at it a little differently than everybody else, but I think we're looking at a different way of doing things. I already talked to Patrick Sullivan, I thought he was gonna be here tonight, to discuss what he thought they were gonna do. I think they're gonna use snow fence for a time being until we find something more permanent,
Is that the orange thing?
yes.
Okay.
Talking about the retractable fence then?
Yeah, we spoke with some of the special education teachers about that. Some of the kids are not even able to go outside and play because that fencing isn't safe for them. Like
It needs to be a permanent structure because a lot of these kids that are going out there are gonna knock it right over, or they're gonna slide under it, or they're gonna dig. It needs to be something that is in place where a child cannot move it, I guess.
Well,
Yeah,
my conversation,
my,
I'm good, I'm sorry.
a big part, I was made aware of it too. And my son is autistic and he's very fast, extremely fast, loves water with the marsh back there too. So he naturally gravitates down there, so he is like, he can't go, most of his inclusion time too is a part of like recess or lunch or those community times. So he's not able to even access that time safely without an enclosed space. Cause he's either running to the main street or he's trying to run on the trails and towards the water.
And I think it's something to note that Daniel Webster houses the autism program for Marshfield.
Yeah,
I found
it's,
that out.
it's
So
a big
that's
thing.
kind of like,
So it's such a great space and it's an awesome program. It's like that's that missing component that's making it really hard for him to access the same stuff as his peers in that environment.
When I talked to Pat, it was like a couple days ago, and he said he was gonna sit down with Sarah and Jen.
Yeah.
And they were gonna hash some ideas around what would be the best solution to what they thought was gonna be best. And that's the direction we're gonna go in. We'll have to get whatever it takes.
What happened to the fence that got taken down?
It had to come out so we could put
No, I know
the
it,
service again.
but why can't it go back?
There can't be a permanent
On the
structure
front
in.
though, I'm saying on the front.
Well, in the front, I guess there is that one play area there that we would have had to bump the fence out into the pavement. So
Why would you have to bump it in,
because you need 6 feet around all equipment, and is that one piece of equipment in the front corner there that's like pretty close to the
Yeah.
pavement.
Yeah, I don't think that pavement is, it's not like a driveway or anything. Why can't you just bump it instead of that?
So these are the things we want you folks to bring up to them.
Yeah, and going forward, it just, like, I thought we were gonna, not that we had a committee or anything, that we were gonna be more involved in, and listen, I'm so happy we got the surfacing done, like, that was awesome. But like, this is something that should have been brought up before. We just ripped out the fence without a plan to go forward. And I know you guys were just, but this is stuff that we have to think about, and I think this is why we need this committee.
This is why we needed a committee, this is why we pushed so hard for the committee. Because, yeah.
We have our plate is full. These guys right here, we have so many projects going on right now, it's not even funny, but we've dedicated a lot of time to get this off the ground running. Was it foolproof? No, it's not. But it's very essential to have this committee because you're gonna take a lot of pressure off of us. You're gonna be able to discuss the needs and wants that you wanna have over there at any playground and bring it to the select board, the schools, and we can help you. But we just couldn't take everything on at once.
And,
No, and we understand.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
We just, we're looking for something
yeah,
now, kind of, for the kids, so like, what are our steps that we can all work together to make this work for the kids?
I would suggest that you get a hold of the schools.
perfect.
What I can
And they're
do,
gonna
Yes or
tell us
no?
to call you.
This,
Yeah.
No, well, I'll
Yes,
talk
I
to
know,
Pat.
but that's
Okay,
like.
because that's exactly what we've been getting.
It's not our problem, it's not our problem.
it,
We're busy.
we're,
Call this
we're,
person,
we're
and
not
it's
saying
just-
that it's not
Oh,
our,
no, I
our
didn't mean
problem.
you, I didn't mean.
No,
just
no, I know,
think
but-
in general, it's like,
Yeah.
so hard, people are like, oh, we'll talk to them, I'm like, but we already did that step, so how do we get everyone in the same room at the same time?
I don't know the last time was that you talked to them, but this recent conversation.
PTO on Monday.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
this
also
Monday.
don't know like how visible, I guess, if that makes sense, like this committee is so far, because I went into the school, talked to Mrs. McNeil, and I was like, I sent an email about the fence, or when I was in there, the custodian was talking about what they had gotten that day, and it was terrible. Just not what would work for special need kids and stuff, so. It
We're
was
still
just like
talking about
already
the
like
same thing,
confusing,
right?
they don't even know who we are. So we have to
We're going
somehow
to.
find a way to.
Right.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think Jen knows.
Yeah.
Julian and I made it very
Jen
clear to
and
Jen.
Yeah, good, that's what it takes.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it was a long process to get this committee to happen, okay? And as I, you heard me just talking to Steve about Andrew hasn't even gotten anything
Right.
saying he's here. He's not here tonight, but
Yeah.
saying that he's part of this. And so that's just the way it's working. It's gonna be little starts and stops, I think, before things really get rolling. And just for people's information, like when we got everything squared away and the bids, they wrote the bids, or they wrote the proposals, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, to get bids for the surfacing. I was told by a contractor who works all over the place, every single town is booked out for a year. You're not going to get anybody to do this work this year, period. And they made 3 of them happen. Like, that was literally kind of a miracle 4. So that was really kind of a miracle, like, because I was told by several people that there's no way they're booked out a year in advance. Towns all over Massachusetts
Or
are already
we didn't get
booked.
enough money, we didn't get this, but we
Yeah.
made it happen.
So it's really amazing that they got done. But, and I'm not trying to diminish any of the concerns at all, but I just want people to be realistic, but to know that.
I think,
You know?
some
Yeah.
of the problem is
Yeah,
that I can speak, I have 2 autistic kids,
Yeah.
one who also uses a walker. So like thrilled that she can go now,
I know.
but now I've taken another group of kids and put them in a not safe situation. So I think that's where kind of like Colleen's saying that visibility needs to come out, because
Yeah.
we've now hit a dip, like you would not have made us think really, because Jack could access the surface,
Right,
whereas Charlie couldn't.
right.
But now she can, but now Azar can go into the marsh. So it just, I think, I'm hoping that it'll become more visible, because we hit that other group of people who we didn't hit before, who are now like, oh, my kid is gonna be over there.
Oh, we already-
I guess
Okay,
that's
so
where they already are, no one's
So
noticed.
so visible and like, how do you want, what are you looking for visibility?
People
What,
recognize
Yeah,
who they are.
so like,
you mean from the schools or
I think just, yeah,
Townwide.
town, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Well,
Um,
logistically, like if we're talking about next steps of Pat, Sarah, and Jen are gonna be meeting, what are the next step to follow that? They meet, then we meet with them, and then we converse with you about what the next steps or suggestions are. Like, is there something that follows a line like that, so there's actually steps and a process in place?
So, how many people, unless they call it for a meeting, how many people can actually go visit the school superintendent out of this group? 2? Not violate the open meeting law.
You could all go together as long as you don't discuss how you're gonna vote anything. So you could all be there like as a tour to get informational updates and ask informational questions, but you can't discuss how you would vote on anything. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I should have mentioned this earlier. So because of open meeting law, like a majority of the board cannot get together to discuss anything that might be coming before them for a vote. So it's easier for you guys as a 7-member board, because as long as 4 of you aren't together at once, it's fine for you to talk to each other. The select board's only 3 people, so we really can't talk to anyone, which makes it more difficult to have a smooth meeting. And it's probably why most towns have 5 select board members. But anyway, so, I mean, you could get together 2 or 3 at a time, just to kind of get on the same page, so that we're a little bit more structured before a meeting. All of you could go, but again, just be careful that you're only getting informational updates and that you're not discussing how you're gonna vote on something that might come before this committee. But again, if you make a good faith, honest mistake, like nothing bad's gonna happen to you. I mean, at worst, the state will just send you a letter like, hey, just here's what you did wrong, try to do better, and at worst, they might have you take some training that's an online video. But that's what Sean's driving towards. Thinking out loud about the fencing for the Danny Webster playgrounds, let me give the facilities director, Fred Russell, a call. So interestingly, Fred's email address is a school email address, mpsd.org, but he's kind of split 50-50 between the schools and the rest of the town facilities. So let me give Fred a call, because I know we have some money left over from CPC after resurfacing those 4 playgrounds, because what the town has in place is a number of on-call contractors. So Fred used to work for Massport, and this is something that they did a lot, right? So rather than go out to bid every single time you need to do like a small project, which takes a lot of time, what you can do is you can have on-call contractors but you could only use them up to a certain monetary threshold. And let me it's either 25,000 or 50,000, but you can't go above that. So if it's a bigger project, you have to go up to bid, you gotta get 3
That's
bids.
over 50.
Over 50?
Yeah.
Perfect. So the idea is that when you solicit your on-call contractors, you go out to bid, right? And you see who has the lowest labor cost, what it is, and then what's the cost of their materials, and then you go with the lowest qualified bidder. And then that way, let's say a generator at town hall goes down, instead of going out to bid for 30 days and soliciting 3 bids, you can call your on-call contractor, who you know is approved already as the lowest qualified bidder, and they're out there within 1 to 3 days to put in the new generator.
It's a very good point.
So we have an on-call architect that we could hopefully use for the fence, and we also have an on-call fencing contractor who we could probably contact as well. So that would definitely help to speed up the process. So I don't want to speak out of turn, but I can't imagine it would be more than 50 grand to just have some permanent fencing
It'll
around.
be less than that, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah. Go what they're thinking of, I know what they're thinking of. But that's a great idea, to expedite this a lot quicker.
And we would have to get rid of some swings though, some equipment there.
Well, so I think your idea with the temporary fence on the side, I think it's a good idea. I just don't think that temporary fence fits there. I think it's too short. So I think if we came up with a better plan for what you guys bought, I think it would work. But it just, this gap, you see it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
we can,
zip tied to it, like it just.
we can get more, definitely.
I don't think you need more. I think if we just added some fence, made that more permanent on maybe on the sides, I think that the what you put up.
Steve's approach.
I don't hate, it's just the way it was installed, it just, we need a little more fence coming up, and I think there's ways to do it to stay the 6 feet away from.
No, do a permanent fence, but use the route that Steve talked about.
Well, we can't do a permanent fence down the side, because there's a swing within 6 feet, and then there's, so.
Yeah, that's
The
why it was
reason that
removed in the
fence
first
had to
place.
come out is because it was 6 feet.
I have to
Yeah.
look at it again.
Yeah, there's
It's gotta be
a
way
swing set, and then there's the piece of equipment that was fenced in originally. And there needs to be basically 12 feet so that you could sneak a fence in and have the 6 foot of safety, 6 foot of safety. And there wasn't that 12 feet. So they had to either remove it or remove the swing set. And the decision was made. I forget, I was getting calls from the contractor and from, I think, Diane, and then I think someone else from the school.
I feel like this all happened
And
over a weekend, right?
It was over a weekend. I wasn't available. I was at a wedding, and then I just
No,
came back to the
I
fence
told
was
him
gone.
the fence.
Yeah.
I did. It was on
So
my-
it was either remove the swings or remove the fence, and I know that the school didn't want us to remove any equipment. So that was the route that we took, and then we kind of, and then after it was put in, then we had the concerns about the fence being gone, and this is what we tried to do to keep the swings and try to keep the kids in there. But I mean, if we wanna, we're either gonna, I think what our approach is gonna have to be is we're gonna have to make a decision on either removing swings to get a permanent fence in, or we can get some more of that temporary fence and just find a way to lock it in better.
But I know what you're saying.
It's,
He's talking fence in the front, maybe we angle it in as much as we can without
Yeah.
getting into the safety zone, and then there's a much shorter area to cover, and maybe that, you get a temporary fence that's more
Yeah.
supportive in that area.
Yeah, we can definitely
So,
do a
it's just about
permanent
how
fence in the front.
Some of the fencing,
Yeah,
we can look at that.
yeah.
I think anything's possible. Just gotta get the right people involved. I like your approach.
How long does it take to get, the process of getting in touch with the contractor and architect?
A lot quicker than going out to bid. A lot quicker.
So who
Versus a
takes
week
the
versus
lead
a
on
month.
that one?
He's gonna call.
Okay. So would it be Fred or?
Yeah, I'll call Fred, because he's got all the on-call people in his Rolodex. And I think probably, if I had to guess, the biggest issue would be just, is the supply there for the fencing, if you have to wait on the fencing. But other than that, it's a lot faster than going out to bid.
We have the money to get the fence, that's
Yes.
for sure.
And then who actually contacts the, so I would like to be one of these people, rather than, no offense to Fred, but he's, like, I don't want it to get pushed off into another department to
No,
make the
so what should
contacts,
happen
you know what I'm
is,
saying?
Steve contacts Fred. Fred can talk to the schools, and I think these folks need to be involved as well, so everybody's on the same page. But I know that Pat wanted the two ladies at the school to be involved, and I think that's proper, I mean, that's right, they should be. They know
Which
they-
two?
Jen and Sarah,
Oh,
vice principal.
my kids are way,
Yeah.
way out of
Yeah,
school.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I think
Good.
it's something that, I think Steve will get the ball rolling
Mhm.
for us, and get Fred involved, and then you guys can meet with Jen and Sarah, or
Mhm.
Pat, and figure out what's gonna work best, and
Yeah,
get it
'cause
done.
that's a.
Yeah, absolutely, and
So you'd be able to-
the last time I checked, unless it changed, the last time I checked, B&B Fencing is our on-call contractor, so he's a local guy, pretty nice, and we've used him, and he's done a good job with other stuff, so. And he's pretty responsive, so I would imagine that it's not a huge surface area that we're covering, so I don't think there would have to be a long wait for the actual fencing, but
He may even have to start.
yes, yeah, which would be nice. So, that
do
would,
they have a website with options that you guys can look at, just for the hell of it?
I think it's the
Okay.
quickest,
This one's.
Yeah, anything to make sure that
Let's go
everybody
to
is
the.
included and not
Mhm.
missing out and safe.
well, now you're all empowered to make those connections with the school.
Yeah.
Say, listen, we wanna talk about, especially you two, being on the ADA as well.
Everyone loves us, everyone loves us.
Well, it's needed.
It is needed. How do we, I guess, going off of that, how do we make ourselves visible in the community? What, can we have like a social media? Do we have an email address? Like how do we kind of let everyone know we're,
Well, you should have email addresses. Did anybody reach out to you about,
no, we don't have them for ADA either.
you what?
We don't have them for ADA either.
Oh, maybe they don't. Do they not do?
I'm gonna give you the number to call.
they do upon request. Some people, like, they just, that, hey, here's my email address, contact me here. Some people request to have a specific town dedicated email, so it's personal preference. Another thing we could do is, we could create a town email that then distributes to your personal emails. So if someone emails selectboard@townofmarshfield.org, it goes to all of our professional staff and to each select board member. So I have it go to my Gmail address because I'm familiar with the interface and it's easier for me to use. But some people still use a town email address and town domain, so it's up to personal preference. We can definitely create a social media page. The town,
That would be a really good idea.
yes, because I know the ADA committee reached out about creating a Facebook page. So I think what would be good is I reached out to IT and said, hey, can we create an email address called, ADA committee@townofmarshfield.org? And, because the Council of Aging had a Facebook page, but someone created it with their private email address and password, and then they retired and moved and forgot what the password was, so they got locked out of the page. So at least if we create it with a town email address, no matter what happens to somebody, the IT department will be able to unlock it and get back into it.
And it sticks better too.
Yes.
Send an email from a town email address, people will recognize it.
I like that too, because what you were saying with the sign, that email is there, a phone number and a QR code. You know, all these different ways, you can take a picture of it or write it down or whatever, they continue to contact us.
So some good ideas from you guys would be thinking about the social media thing is what you would wanna have like on that page. And then the form link for reporting anything broken or whatever should be definitely on that page. And then once that's set up, that's easy to get the word out and start marketing, just post it everywhere on all the Marshfield pages and let people know that, there's a page, here it is. You can reach the playground people through this, the building department. It's just
It's a
gonna
great
take a
tool.
while
I've been
before,
using it for a while.
you know.
The
Yeah.
Department of Public Works.
I wonder too,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
the flyer can be, the superintendent sends out the weekly, and so does every elementary school, so it can be sent out with their weekly newsletters,
I don't
so
see
that
why not.
it's informing families.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that that could then be advertised and people would find out real quick, you know? And who doesn't like looking at pictures of playgrounds, you know, like you can put, like, pictures on there would be fun too. So
He's excellent.
it's just all a process.
Tell him I gave you the number.
It just all takes a long time, unfortunately.
Do we have to vote for each, something we find, like, going forward next week, something, we get an inquiry about something damaged that's dangerous, or we rope it off, of course. But we don't have to come to the next meeting to vote, or do, on a replacement or a fix.
No, you wouldn't necessarily have
I don't
to.
think so.
Yeah, I think as long as you bring it to someone's attention,
Yes, yeah.
yeah, they'll fix it, for sure, yeah.
Because it's gonna go to the building department once that gets set up to assess it, right? And then because the inspector is gonna look at anything that's broken or needs to be done, right?
I think you have all,
Yeah,
each
and
one
then,
of you have the right to
right.
get a hold of the building inspector, let him know there's a problem or something.
mhm.
I think if you're gonna go and do a project or replace equipment or several pieces of equipment, you should vote on. As a group.
Like the Facebook page, like if that might be something that, you probably don't technically have to vote on it, but it might be kind of good practice to kind of play with ideas about that and then take a vote. I don't know, maybe that's a dumb
It doesn't
like,
hurt to take a vote.
suggestion, but
Yeah, you could do like a motion that, I move to instruct so-and-so to take, these actions, the next step to so-and-so, right? You could say like, I move to instruct Steve to call the facilities director tomorrow about the possibility of using an architect and on-call fencing contractor for the Danny Webster playground. And then someone would second it, and then, we'll just add that to our meeting minutes. So there's no harm in doing that,
just to kind of get in the groove of how a board and a committee works and
So I guess,
throughout a meeting, do you know what I mean?
I have a question, so like, say we vote on that, say we say, yeah, there's a fence, but then it still has to go to you guys, so what are we actually voting on? To
Well, first
send
of
you a
all,
message?
I don't think you have to vote on putting getting it.
No, I know, I'm just using that as an example, I'm saying like, say,
What weight do we actually
yeah, what,
carry,
like,
I think.
basically, we're just voting on sending you a message, to do this. That's kinda, I guess I don't fully
Right.
understand.
I
what-
think I understand
Yeah.
the question. So you don't have to vote on if you're gonna send, like, reach out to Steve or whatever to send a message. But at some point, like when we're a lot deeper into this and new projects start happening, and you guys have ideas around new projects and whatever you have set up with, did anybody, I don't know what the story is with the finance department, but they're gonna get involved in setting up an account for like fundraising.
Yes, so.
Somebody did talk to me, I think I did talk to me at one of the meetings, after one of the meetings. But like, for example, say that you decide to do a fundraiser, right? That's like an event, you're gonna be raising money, so it's like, that's a meeting that you're gonna be voting on your decision, so bigger things. But just as a way of kind of getting into the groove of how you function in a meeting, how you structure all of that, how, motions are made and votes are made and stuff, you're gonna need to be doing that at some point. Like, you don't have to do it for these things, but I'm just suggesting it's a good way of kind of practicing that whole structure, because it's very specific.
So we are allowed to fundraise and have our own account, and
So, how did the baseball people set theirs up? That's an example of how you would do it,
I
however
was
they did
kinda
it.
under the impression it worked.
There are different recreational things that are set up as a town gift account, so what we could just do is create a town gift account for the playgrounds to make it clean and easy. So if there was a fundraiser that was organized in the future, they would just make out a donation to the town playground gift account.
Right, but if you're gonna plan a fundraiser, that's a very structured thing, and that's where, having meetings, meeting minutes, voting on your decisions, all very, specifically is gonna come in, so.
Yeah, I understand your question
It
though,
takes a
it's
while to
like,
learn, but
Yeah, because your question is like, what power do we actually have
Well,
to
you're
make
money,
things happen?
so-
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. So I would look at it more so as like you have an official platform to advocate for changes that you want to see and think need to be made at the playgrounds. And if I had to think of just a good analogy off the top of my head, so the open space committee, right? I mean, technically, they don't have the authority to do any purchases on their own, but what they do is they have their monthly meetings. One of their best committee members, Sue Karen, she's really good about approaching property owners in town about land that the town could acquire for potential open space purposes. So because of her, we're about to acquire like dozens of acres that can now be dedicated towards open space for the town because of the work that she did. So Sue really meets with these folks, she does a lot of the legwork, they have their meetings and they kind of organize, put everything together, and then when they're ready to move, you know, they go to the select board for the official authority to make the purchase, or they go to CPC to appropriate the funds for the action that they want to take. So they put together the application and all the information that CPC needs to move things forward. So what we could do is we could meet with local engineers or architects and have them put together designs for changes we want to see, put together a cost estimate and a budget, because those are all things that CPC will need before they appropriate any funds.
Correct.
So you can't go, the structure of this committee doesn't allow you to go to CPC, but you do all of that work ahead of time and then it either goes, well, it goes through the DPW, would be
Yeah,
the
so if you
ones
wanna
that would
get-
take it.
Funding through CPC, as a committee, you can't, you have to come to the department, correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm.
And we have to do the legwork for you to get the funding, like we did with the PIT.
If we start fundraising, we can have our own account though, right?
Yes,
Because if it's a town gift one, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
we still have to ask for money from it? Like
Ye-
wait for a town meeting or?
You would ask the select board to appropriate those funds, I believe, I'll double check. Cause it's a charitable gift account, so it's not like you're spending taxpayer money that town meeting would have to appropriate, it's a town gift account. So I think all you would need at most is the select board to okay, you know, what you guys are asking for. And that's just one thing I wanna drive home too, right? Is even though you guys are on an appointed board, you have rights and you have autonomy. So no member of the select board can call you up and tell you what to do and tell you how to vote. So don't ever feel pressured to do anything, you know, I don't know how things are gonna change over the years, but every committee member, even though you're appointed by the select board in theory, right, the select board's gonna appoint people to carry out the vision they think they were elected by the voters to carry out. You have rights and autonomy and no one can call you and tell you what to do or how to vote. You know, at the end of your 3 years, if they want to replace you when your term expires, they can do that, but they can't pressure you or tell you what to do or how to vote. So don't be afraid to use your platform to be vocal if you feel like what you're advocating for isn't getting the attention that it warrants, if that makes sense.
that's a good point.
Very, very good.
The fundraising that you mentioned for baseball, could you share the contact information just to kind of hear from them about their process?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Kind of learn the ropes from folks who've done it before, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes
One
sense.
of the biggest tools they used was a Facebook page. I play in 2 bands, I've been doing it for 30 years, and I do a bunch of fundraisers. I have tens of thousands of followers. That is gonna get you guys recognized right off the bat. As soon as you start that page, people have link right up to it. So they wanna know what's going on, and they wanna participate and give you some information about their thoughts, and be open to ideas. But that's the quickest and easiest way to get you guys recognized, is to start a social media page. Because everybody wants to know what's going on. I know that for a fact. I mean, I see it every day. But we put the information out there too, and I think it works. You know? But that's a good way to start, getting recognized.
And just as far as like the tone of stuff like that, I'm thinking of different Facebook pages in the town. It's for playgrounds, right?
She's bright
So,
and shiny.
huh?
She's a bright and shiny.
Just make it fun, you know what I mean? Like, get quotes from your kids, quotes from the kids at the school, like, you're not gonna put pictures on there unless the parents want their kids' pictures, of course, but do some like funny stuff, like kids say funny stuff like all the time. I don't even remember the funny stuff my kids said, probably wrote it down somewhere. But like if you make it like very engaging, then you will definitely get noticed. And then people will wanna help, and then people will wanna donate to any fundraisers and support. Like, so bringing a lot of positivity into, that's a great way of doing it. Then you'll hit a lot less like brick walls too. If everybody's like, the playground people are so fun, say yes.
So in terms of the next steps on the email stuff, so I can have that email just created and I'll ask IT for help setting up the town Facebook page. Do you want to have dedicated town email addresses or do you just want that email to distribute to all of your personal email addresses?
You don't want, you want to just distribute, or?
Just-
Yeah.
If you get a
So
lot,
you
if you get a
respond
ton of
to-
emails, you might want a different email address,
That's
at
what I was
least
just gonna
for,
say. Is the response gonna come from our personal email, like if we responded to some?
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you hit reply all or even reply, it would come from your personal email address.
Okay, yeah, I don't want.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be like with my work.
Yeah, and we can do that on a case-by-case basis too.
Yeah.
Like, there are plenty of committees where one member uses their personal email, another member uses their town
Okay.
email.
I have, my email isn't a town email, but it's not my regular email. So it's Board of Public Works it's BOPWV, you know. But, it doesn't go to my regular email, I just get those emails.
I think it's,
So that's an idea too.
it's important to keep your personal and your town email separate.
Yeah, if
If
you're
you're
gonna
doing official
use,
business, use the town email.
yeah, or an email that's not the town email, but that's not your email.
Okay, so who would like a town email? Okay. Yeah, okay, perfect.
Not everyone's super nice, so I don't need to know.
This is true. Okay. Alright, we can definitely do that. Totally understandable. Okay. So we can square that away. I remember there was a draft social media policy that the town had years ago. I don't know if it was officially adopted or codified, but I mean, we can get the ball rolling on the Facebook page in the email item. Okay. Another thing, this is just a tiny housekeeping thing, is like we recently passed a new board and committee handbook. It's not a big deal, it's just every committee member has to sign that they read it and they're gonna follow it. It's basically just a code of conduct policy, you know? Like, I don't think anyone on this committee is gonna accost any town employees, that's one of the things you're not supposed to do, but I'll get that to everyone. You know, you just go to the town clerk's office, like when you got sworn in, that's like 5 seconds, you know, she just reads the statement and you're sworn in. It'll be like that for the handbook, so just everyone needs to just sign the handbook.
Something on that. She told me I have to take an hour ethics class.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, everybody does.
It's online.
It's
We weren't
easy.
told that for either committee.
He was told the other day, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Is this something we ought to know about you?
Yeah, let me see how your
We all
brain,
have to-
your background check is that.
So that would have so I got in, my first contact on that, I think came from Bob Galvin, but it didn't come from Maurice, but, yeah, it's just, I probably even have the link, I don't know, am I allowed to send it to them?
Yeah.
Because there was the 2 papers and then there was the green paper.
No, she took care of it for
It's
us.
we
easy,
just went like this.
We just went, and she said, okay, here.
Because that one said you have to do the course. Like, are going to do it within.
You can do it at home and make
She
sure.
emailed me the link, so.
okay, so you have it, so you have the link,
Yeah.
so you can send it to
Yep.
your people. Yeah, well, this is kind of really, like, just to get to know each other.
Well, they need to organize.
Yeah, they do need to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you do have to take it, but it's easy. Like, you literally can read it
I just.
and then,
Yeah.
and
I-
sit there and.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
Oh, I thought you meant right now. I was like, oh, that's.
After the first time.
Yeah. This may shock you, but you cannot take bribes that influence your votes.
It's pretty easy, yeah. Can you imagine bribing a playground committee?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like the front playground at TWS is on any list for anything. I know
It is.
originally Mrs. McNeil maybe wanted to kind of get rid of it, or,
I think
Was.
that will be up to you guys. I think that's kind of where we're at right now.
It needs some drainage work too.
Yeah, we were gonna try and include that one, but there was a lot of drainage issues over there, so that's we kind of focused on the ones that we could get in and not have any
But I
issues
think-
with that.
You folks as a group now, committee, should be driving the bus on which ones you want to see done next. What's
Yeah.
important to you and your children.
Do we have enough money to do the other two schools without asking for more? Or is South River its own animal? Like, I know there's.
I think both of them are kind of their own animal, to be honest. I mean, South River, I don't think that the equipment is an issue. I mean, I know that there was one that was broken that I actually had the contractor go and fix. It was under warranty, so it didn't cost us anything, but that one is just massive.
Right.
So that, we got 323,000 left. That, if we wanted to rubber surface that whole thing, that's probably 300,000 right there. So we kind of, I guess for that one, we'd be looking for you guys to come up with ideas on what you think, how you think it should be surfaced.
I think it's important that you talk to the school.
Yeah.
I forget the woman's name that's in charge down there. principal.
Emily,
Emily.
Mrs. Bayer. Yep.
She was talking about downsizing or condensing it.
It's very spread out.
Yeah, it is.
Very
So I
Didn't
think
you
it's,
just say that same thing in your
Yes.
report? Yeah.
but I think it's important for the group to consult with the schools and see what they want to do and how they want to do it, and you work together. And then approach us or the select board and we can take it to the next level. It's just gonna take a lot of legwork away from us, we need that, but just swamp.
And then things will get done, not that they're not done the way you want, but like
Prioritize.
that fencing thing, probably you guys would have figured that out. You know what I mean? Like a month and a half or 2 months ago, whatever. Like if this whole thing was together at that point.
And one thing that you could do as well, if you wanted, now that you have like an official platform, is you could reach out to the select board if you wanted to do quarterly appointments and quarterly updates with the select board. So you could say, hey, here's what we've been working on, here are the issues we identified, and we're asking that, you add X amount to the operating budget for maintenance of the school playgrounds and things of that nature, or just update us on different things that you're working on. And I know what you guys are looking for too, right? You're looking for streamlined communication and streamlined decision-making.
Yeah.
Right, because we've all been there at various points over the years where you call one person like, oh, well, you gotta talk to so-and-so, and then you just kind of get caught in this circular loop, so I know that's what you're looking to avoid.
Mhm.
And once we're off the air, I'll give you all my cell phone number, so you guys can text me or call me if you need something, but I won't do that right now. And I'll do one more housekeeping thing, and then if you guys feel like you're ready, I think it would be good to organize the board for the chair, vice chair, and then the clerk. So, in addition to the committee handbook, another new thing is that each committee has been asked to put together a mission statement. Could be 1 to 2 sentences, nothing crazy, but I think someone read a management consulting book and thought it would be a great idea to have every committee put together a little mission statement. So, it could be your call to action or what your goals are and things of that nature, but that's something you can all kind of think about and workshop until the next time that we meet. So basically, the chair's role is the chair helps to draft the agenda. In an ideal world, they consult the rest of the board members when they put together the agenda. And, they would submit that to the clerk's office to post that on the town website. So, the example that I did this week, right, I emailed Nerese and Terry, both in the clerk's office, and I CC'd IT, so Todd Goodwin is kind of our head IT person, and his number 2 is Jay McGillis. So basically, I put together the draft agenda and then left an empty space for them to put in the Zoom info if you guys want to continue to do hybrid meetings. And then that way, if one of you's on the road, you can tune in if you want, or it's easier for the public to tune in, and all the meetings are recorded and things of that nature. So the chair helps put together the agenda, and the chair basically runs the meeting. It's nothing crazy. It takes time to get used to it and get into a rhythm, but don't worry about it. I mean, you have probably tuned into other town meetings, and you can see that's not always the smoothest process, but don't sweat it at all. So if you ever need help crafting the language for a motion or something like that, I can help you, or any of the professional staff here can help you craft it. We do it on the select board all the time, especially for more technical votes. But basically, you help put the agenda together as a chair, and you run the meeting. And your goal is to try to keep the meeting on track and productive and on the rails as best you can, right? So if you have a member of the public here, so there's public meetings, and then there's public hearings. This right now is a public meeting, so if the public's here and they want to chime in and you want to let them, that is your prerogative as the chair or as a committee if you want to seek input. But if someone's being out of line, they have a right to be at the meeting, but they don't have a right to disrupt a public meeting, So, I mean, if you specifically want to make clear, like when the public can attend to speak and have input, that would be a public hearing, which is something distinctive. But again, like the Board of Public Works for years, you've had public meetings, but if someone's in the audience, you usually let them speak as long as they're respectful. So that's kind of one thing that's up to your discretion. But if you feel like people are going to get rowdy, you can have a dedicated public hearing portion of the meeting and then get back to kind of the more closed off public meeting portion.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
The vice chair, typically just so people don't accidentally talk over each other and make it hard to follow the meeting, usually the vice chair will second any motion, but again, that's personal preference, not a big deal. And in the chair's absence, you can slide up and step in to run the meeting. And then the clerk does the meeting minutes. That's probably the most actively involved role during the course of a meeting. And, it doesn't have to be a perfect transcript of what was discussed during the meeting, because number one, all the meetings are recorded, so if somebody wanted to watch a recap, it's going to be posted and available online. But it's more so kind of a general overview of what was discussed. And, there are examples on the town website for the select board, the Board of Public Works, and you can see maybe it's like 1 or 2, 3 pages, depending on how long the action items were. Like tonight's meeting would probably be like a page, maybe 2 at most. So that's kind of the role of the clerk. And what the clerk will do is the clerk will circulate the meeting minutes, see if anybody has any changes they want to see made. Like, oh, I mentioned this, can you just add a sentence about that, stuff like that. And then you would vote to approve them at a future meeting. As a best practice, try to approve them within your next meeting or 2, but you don't have to kill yourself to turn around like immediately and get them approved, if that makes sense. So, I'm certainly happy to help you guys draft the first few agendas as you get used to it, and then help you any time that you need assistance with a motion or anything like that. But don't, pressure yourself or strive for perfection. But you'll get the hang of it before you know it, and you guys will be operating pretty seamlessly. So, if there's someone who wants to be chair, feel free to raise your hand and make your case. But someone who's a voting member of the committee would have to nominate them to be chair, and then there would have to be a second. So again, we could do that tonight, or if you guys want some more time to think about it, we could do that as well.
You can also nominate yourself if you wanted to, and then somebody could second that.
I know what they're thinking of.
But we can't do it, so you guys can do it.
Oh, I would like to stay friends with you, so.
It's playgrounds.
I know,
So-
Jimmy.
So everybody's gonna get along.
I nominate Jimmy.
Motion to nominate.
What? Oh yeah, I know.
So, I second it.
That was the one I was expecting, but.
All right, so there's been a nomination and a second. Any other nominations? All right, so now what you would do is you would take a,
her then.
you would take a vote.
I didn't see that clearly all the way
Don't even
through.
know my words, you can't do both.
So I'll give you the language, all right, so you could say, it doesn't have to be exactly this, but okay, so Jimmy has been nominated to be chair and duly seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
So it's a 4-1 vote. So congratulations, Jimmy, you are now the chair.
Congratulations.
Congrats. I should have brought a party streamer to pop for you. So now we would need nominations for vice chair.
I could handle vice chair, I guess. Jimmy, as long as you're gonna do all of it.
You wanna ask?
So you can nominate yourself or someone can nominate.
You doing all the work?
Oh, God.
And do you guys all know each other from, like, where you are all? Like from, no, I mean, I know you know each other, but did you like all grow up here?
No.
Oh,
I grew up there.
oh, okay.
We live in the same neighborhood.
Oh, same, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. Let's see, cookies and stuff.
That's a good rule.
Very nice.
I second Dominique.
All right.
So all in favor, you
All in
said?
favor. You can speak up.
Writing notes.
All right, sounds like a unanimous 5-0 vote this time. Perfect. All right, now we need a clerk.
What does the clerk have to do again? Meeting minutes?
Exactly, yep.
There's an app for that.
I nominate Colleen.
I second.
What about Megan? She's not here.
Yeah, no, I already volunteer her for things, but
Can you share the clerk responsibility, like if someone can't come?
But yeah, so if someone can't make it, like you could have someone substitute as the
We do it
clerk.
on the PTO, so.
Yeah. So you're willing to fall on that grenade? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I thought I'd have to make the agenda as the clerk, so I'm happy that I wouldn't.
All right, so there's a nomination. Is there a second?
I second.
All right, all those in favor?
I.
All right, so that's a unanimous 5-0. So we have a 4-1 vote, 5-0 vote, and then a 5-0 vote.
Nice.
And now you have an organized committee.
Yay.
So I'll do that tomorrow as well. I'll let IT know to update the website so people know who the chair, vice chair, and clerk is, and who to aim the rotten apples and tomatoes at when they're upset.
Tastes better than making stuff.
And so I'll do one quick recap, and then maybe we can pick our next meeting date before we leave.
Wait, can I ask a question? Because it's been like an ongoing thing. I have all the communication boards for every playground in the town sitting in my sunroom.
Oh, still.
I need them
Okay.
out. How?
The communication board's like a physical, like.
Yeah, they're about like the size of these two tables, and they have all different texts on them. I have them all. They were donated by various people around the town. So step one is I need to figure out how we can get donation plaques, because we have been told to run around 600 times by 600 different people. And then I need to figure out how we can get them.
Okay.
Maybe get them at house, but would be nice too.
Where would you put them?
Do you know where they're gonna go?
Every playground, so they can go on a fence, or they can have a freestanding like pole thing.
So you need to get them out of your house until you find a place to put them?
No, we know they're on every playground.
But do you know where in the playgrounds you want them to be?
That can come up easily.
So
Like,
that's a
for those
task for you guys
playgrounds,
to
they're
work
like
on.
attached to like a fence even.
Yep.
Like they're just flat boards and they're just.
Right, they
Yeah.
can be, but you don't know,
On the new fence.
so my question, suggestion is that this be your first committee-like job, is that you decide as a committee on each playground what you wanna do with that,
Okay.
with that board. Do you want it on a fence? Where do you want it on the fence? Do you want it? And then your ideas come back to Andrew when he gets officially made the playground inspector, and us through whatever whatever the channel is that, do you guys understand what the channel is for communication? I'm not really clear on it myself.
Now, if you're looking to get them out of your house and put them somewhere until you guys figure out where you're gonna put them, we can bring them here in the garage.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
They're not, they're very thin. There's 7 of them. Every playground except for Amesway, because they already have one. I need to check my list.
So is your priority getting them out of the,
No, my priority is
Ours,
getting them
ours.
on the
on?
playground.
Okay, that's what I was talking
Yeah.
about. But you would also like them out, but you
I-
don't
I
necessarily
would.
wanna store them in,
No, but
you
they're
just like to
fine.
get moving on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well,
Yeah.
that's my suggestion, I don't know
Yeah, I mean, if you
what
want,
you guys think.
if you wanted to practice making motions, you know, someone could say like, I move that we instruct Dominique to pick a location to place these communication boards by our next meeting. And then you guys can vote to approve those particular locations. So, I mean, there's a million ways you could do it. I mean, what you could do is just take those like little orange sticks people put at the end of their driveway for the snow plows and just go to the playground, stick it in the ground and take a picture so there's a visual reference. And then bring that to the next meeting. And then you guys could, you know, make a motion to approve those as of locations. And then, you know, reach out
That's
to
a pretty clever idea.
a town employee to put it in. So it sounds like you have the communication board, but it doesn't have, if you don't put it on a fence, but you put it in the ground, it would need legs or basically some
Yeah,
poles, yeah. Cool.
Jimmy could explain that better. Poles? Yeah.
Poles, legs, yeah.
Alright, legs, whatever.
Cool, okay. So does someone just wanna, practice making the motion to do that?
I make motion to do that. I make motion to, Dominique picks the spot where she wants them, and on the next,
And brings a photo to the next meeting showing where it should be placed.
And as far as the plaques, she mentioned quickly too, isn't that something we have to present to the select board? Like,
You don't have them, so you're looking to have plaques created
exactly.
for
Like,
whoever
in honor
donated
of-
from the donors, with the
approval of
donors.
a parent or something, and-
Yeah,
Yeah, so I will circle back to that. Does somebody wanna second that motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
I,
Unanimous 5-0 vote. Okay, so the plaque. I can look into that as well. That'll be a great question for Andrew because our town sign bylaws are really weird. So based on the dimensions of the sign or this board that's gonna have all the plaques up on it and probably this communication board too, it might need a permit, which I know is really stupid and annoying, but welcome to town government. If you've ever watched Parks and Recreation, it's more of a documentary than a mockumentary at times, you know?
I totally forgot about that show.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to revisit that show all over again now.
I love when Leslie Knope asked the town planner, Mark Van Danowitz, he's like, what'd you do today? He's like, I raised a speed bump half an inch. That's what I did today.
So are they,
We don't
to-
create it.
you're
No, so
thinking
the
that they
thing
go
is, like,
on
this
each
big-
board,
Yes, they
One on each
definitely
board.
need to be like this big, like.
but it's gonna be on the board?
Yeah, well, it can be on the board, it can be adjacent to the board, it can be,
On the fence, on
it can
the
be,
post.
yeah, just somewhere.
You probably won't need it.
So that's something also for you guys to,
Yeah, perfect.
that would be also something for you guys to decide. When you look at the locations and like how you wanna put each board at each playground, then determine like what's the easiest way for us to put a plaque, what size would it be? What's the easiest way that we're not gonna have to get a permit, we're not gonna have to, like, it's not gonna cost a lot of money or whatever. Find the easiest way that you wanna achieve that. So making a plan for like the whole thing, and then you bring it to wherever it needs to go, depending on what your plan is.
Okay, so, alright, we were told it is like a, for lack of a better term, like a large ceremony, there has to be like a whole thing. This is not the case, like we literally just want it to be on there. We don't, a
Who
lot
told
of
you there
people,
needed to be
I've
a
gone
ceremony?
back and forth and back and forth.
That's up to you folks.
Nope, we don't need that.
You guys donate, got the funds to get these, right? And like private donations, right?
Yep.
So you did your own private fundraising?
Yep.
So it's up to you what you wanna do, how you wanna,
Exactly.
you did it, you got them. Like
Okay.
you weren't under any obligation to do
Okay.
a big hoo-ha, right?
Yeah, we don't.
Okay,
No.
then don't.
Put them up and use, I know
That
some
could be your first Facebook use.
Thank you, notes.
To make them.
Perfect,
Thank you.
okay.
Good.
All right, and so to recap too, I'll reach out to IT about the email and the IT stuff. I'll reach out to Fred Russell about possibly doing on-call contractors for the permanent fencing structure around the Daniel Webster playground. So I've got that on my list. It sounds like you have the ethics training video link that you could share with folks, so if you could help square that away, that would be great. And then as like a project in between meetings, if you guys want to pick out where these communication boards are going to go, and just find a way to mark it and take a picture so it's easy for folks to visualize, that would be great. And then I think I'll probably have 3 items in one email for IT. So it'll be the email stuff, the social media page, and then that QR code for the citizen request form that we can put on a sign. So that'll probably be like a tandem effort between IT to make the QR code, and then DPW makes the signage for the town. So there'll be good synergy like from this board to.
I have a
Get
question
that done.
before we move on. The pictures of the locations for the boards, they're gonna have to send those into IT so that they can get on, are they gonna go on, like, who's gonna show those at their meeting? Are they just gonna hold it up to the camera, like, or
Oh yeah, they
is
can.
there a way that it can go in?
Yeah, they could. If we have someone from IT available, we could have. As long as we email it to IT, they can do a little screen share.
They can
so
screen
that-
share if they're available during the meeting. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
a question for IT too.
Yeah, so you could bring like physical copies if you want.
Or if
people
you just-
here and then.
You can,
I'll just walk up to the camera.
right.
Yeah, there we
In
go.
front of the,
Perfect.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yes.
okay, sorry.
Too late to just bring up a quick concern, in regards to the surface or the area around the rubber. I think you mentioned it at the beginning of the meeting and I should have said something, but, so I know there's dirt and the seed, and then, you came out the other day to turn on the water at Tower Avenue Park. So I reseeded, I watered, but what I'm noticing is there's already some breaks, so where the rubber kind of like slopes a little bit to the dirt, there's already some tears, because right now it's just up against loose dirt. So I was a little concerned about that. Also, I don't know if the seed is gonna take, because right now, the kids, I know like you guys did half of it, but just for instance, last night, there was a soccer game over in that enclosure for like 2 hours. The kids were like throwing dirt and,
Oh,
you know, so, and that was after I just put new seed down. So, those are the 2 things. I don't know if there's like any way to try to find some more of that
stone dust?
snow to do the whole area, and I
Put a
can
little
keep,
snow fence out there, but, there was like a small, like a smaller area on the other side that there's no snow fence. I think that the cemeteries department went and put stay off signs out there.
That never works.
yeah, I was gonna order some on
Yeah.
Amazon, just like to keep off, but I don't
that
think
we- I
these
think
kids,
that
I
they did
asked
go
them
put them
to
out there, I'm
not
not,
go
not
on it.
entirely
I
sure.
had to send the police up there one day.
Well, and I can, you know,
And it was
obviously try my best to
well,
get that
texted
seed,
me,
you
yeah.
know, keep people off and water it, I have no problem doing that, but, I just wanted to see what you thought about, like, there's already a rip in it, and that's kind of,
Yeah, I'll have to take a look.
yeah,
Yep, and if the seed doesn't work, we got to do something else.
yeah. So maybe just,
Yeah, and that's something we
Brainstorm.
could run by Anthony, the building commissioner too, since he's a certified playground instructor, so he might have some ideas to
yeah,
try to mitigate and reduce the wear and tear as much as possible.
yeah, just because it's not all the way out to the fence.
Were there dogs on that too?
Oh,
I heard.
well, I will
Yeah,
say, your
you
sign,
texted me
your sign did a lot, and.
Oh, it actually worked.
It really did, and,
Oh,
but
no
I've
dogs.
had friends say.
So the dogs can
"You
read the signs."
Take that down.
Yeah, take
We could put a lockbox there with a keypad and only we know the code and there's pepper spray inside. If you're there again.
Yeah, no, it's worked, I just wasn't sure if, if there's other things we can think of,
There are.
if that, C doesn't take, or if the, the dirt isn't enough to
We had to think of
go up
something
against
quick
that,
to get the playgrounds open so the kids could use them.
yeah.
So
Because they were
Matt and
using.
I talked about it. We went to loam and seed for now.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a permanent thing, but it was something, there was a good transition going from the grass to the surface. It may not work. I know that there's a lot of riled up people up there sometimes, and, they were told to stay off, but they didn't. So, we'll take a look at it.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for the communication.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. I wasn't sure, if it's ADA, but compliant, but something like at Dandelion Park, how they have like that cement with like little pebbles in it
Oh, the stamp,
around.
stamp concrete?
Yeah, well, it's actually, I think there is like little pebble, it looks very like,
Yeah, they stamp the stone in.
oh, really?
Yeah.
So that, I
Yeah,
don't know if
that's nice.
something like that could be done, I don't know how costly that is, but,
We have a little bit of money to get those things done.
yeah.
I'd rather see them done right than.
Well, I was just worried, like that, those
It's-
edges are gonna
It'll
get
be okay, because they can just
ruined.
trim and then shove it in, right?
I think so. I think a little, if there's not enough dirt around it, we can fill it up a little higher.
Plus, I also think there's like a spill edge on the edge of that rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
like
it's-
thin at the edge,
yes.
thinner at the edge.
Yeah.
So you may see a crack there. It's like
Yeah,
where it
it
tapes
kind
off.
of like it went down, but then it also went up into the flat layer, you know what I mean? So I just didn't want, like, for that
Yeah,
to keep
let's take a look
happening.
at that.
That's all we need.
The committee handbook, where we have to sign something for that, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I can send you an electronic copy of it, and then you would just need to go to the clerk's office and just sign something that indicates that you read it and you're gonna follow it, stuff like that.
I didn't get it.
I think because you're on an elected board, you.
Oh, I don't have to?
Yes, yeah,
Exempt?
we have to hold others to higher standards than we hold ourselves, so.
I thought it was gonna be for all
Is that what it is?
boards, I thought it was gonna be boards and
Yeah.
committees, but
I thought it was everybody.
Oh, I should say, yeah. And people have already violated it, but.
No.
I have one question about
Yes.
the town playground. I thought we were gonna talk about that first, beginning of the meeting, anyways, didn't. So I do have a question about that. Cause, there was like the tire swing, the caution tape on it. And I know Andrew inspected a couple other things that a parent had brought up. So I just didn't know if we need to go back and start with Andrew again to get something done over there, or
Where's this at?
the town playground.
The library.
The seesaw is,
Oh, yeah. I
um,
don't know if he went out and inspected that.
So that's where he wasn't sure whether he was appointed to do
okay,
this
so
or
I'll
not?
send a.
he hasn't
Yeah.
done anything really.
He did go out and inspect the tire swing when I
Yeah.
called him and asked him to. And then I think he started to get a bunch of calls about different stuff, and he technically isn't the inspector yet. So I don't know how
Yeah.
that landed, because, he kinda all of a sudden was getting all these playground calls, but it's technically not his job yet. So I don't know where it fell, but we can circle back and see.
I'm gonna make sure that, Steve is gonna put it on the agenda, but if it doesn't end up on the agenda, I will be at that select board meeting at public comment. So,
Perfect, yeah.
right?
You're all welcome as well.
Yeah. But I'm sure it will end up on the agenda, but.
But you being a committee member and a resident, you have a right to notify him and say, listen, I want to just circle back with you on this, make sure that it doesn't fall through the cracks.
He only has to test out of it, he doesn't have to take a course or anything, so it's not gonna be a
He
long
needs-
process,
he
but
needs
he
to
just
bust
needs
it.
to be appointed.
And remember, a bully pulpit can be used for good, and you now have a bully pulpit. So if you feel like something's not moving forward the way that it should, or for some reason Andrew's not moved forward as our official playground inspector, like, don't be afraid to make your voices heard.
absolutely. And you can introduce yourself as
That's right,
the playground committee chair, or vice chair, or clerk, whatever,
Yeah,
Remember?
or a member, yeah.
yeah, don't be afraid to wield it. So, do you guys wanna pick our next meeting date before we leave, so everyone's kinda on the same page and?
Yeah.
So do you guys wanna meet again, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I mean, how often do you guys wanna meet? Some committees do once a month, some do twice a month, and it can vary based on how your schedules are looking.
I want to do once a month.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's busy with life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
There's
open
a few
space
pieces
does.
to put into place before your next meeting anyway.
Yeah.
Got stuff to get done.
Do Wednesdays generally work for everybody?
Do you think this Wednesday was a one-off for Megan, Colleen, or?
I think
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like when Mondays, because a lot of meetings are on Mondays.
Yeah, Monday's.
Yeah,
not
Mondays
good.
we can't, definitely can't do.
Do you, like Tuesday or Thursday, you think?
Yeah.
What works for you, just Tuesday, like what?
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually pretty good.
How about a Tuesday? Oh, Veterans Day would be like, how about May 18th? Something like that? Oh, yeah, I think you're sick.
So it'll be the same thing, they're gonna be meeting here at 6:30, right?
Or not?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to use this room, for your meetings,
Okay.
so
We have the
you don't have to ever look for a place.
Do we have to email someone to use the room, or how do we?
No, as long as we know that there's gonna be a meeting. I know the union has a meeting here once a month, it's on Wednesdays, but it's on the following Wednesday, not this one. So that's why we stuck this one in, but
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, there's never an issue here.
Going forward, you're not gonna always need everybody, like these guys here, or me here, but you should definitely, the first few, reach out and make sure that you have whoever you want, whoever gonna be needed here.
I think you have my email, and we'll share, Ken's and Matt's,
I'm not mine.
and,
Someone say 6, or did you
I
guys?
think we should, yeah.
6.
Yes.
Cool.
Works for you guys?
So Tuesday, November 18th at 6 PM in the DPW media room.
Wait, what? 11/6?
11/18,
11/18.
6 PM, 11/18 at 6
11,
PM.
6, right?
11/18.
11/18.
Tuesday, November 18th,
Okay.
6:00.
Western Mountain Pacific Time.
Okay, I just thought that was like, well, like 5.5, 6 weeks, if we wanted to get the boards, that's what I was saying. But it's fine.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
saying meet
that's
sooner?
like- That's
Yeah,
like,
'cause that's
that's
over.
longer, that's 5.5. So 4 weeks is the 5th,
You
if
do
it
the
was on
Wednesday,
Wednesday. Or the 12th, would be 5 weeks.
The 5th or
I can leave that.
What day of the week is the 5th?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
does that work for this room?
Well, because the 4th is election day, so.
Yeah, it should. The next meeting is the 15th of this month, so.
What are we voting on?
I don't know, is there an election in, do we have anybody in the election report? It's not our election day, but it's election day, I don't know if there's any,
Somewhere.
I'm having a hard enough time following Marshfield politics. Honestly, I don't know if we have to vote that day yet.
Okay, so 11/5 at 6 PM.
Yes.
Do you want us to bring to like a mission statement, like
Yeah.
possibly?
That'd be great, yeah. And you guys can get together, 3 people at a time to, workshop it. So that'd be great. And then if you wanna bring the pictures for the proposed location, and if you wanna just take a picture too of the size of the boards, and then we can run that by Andrew to see if it would trigger any sort of quirky sign bylaw. We can square that away. So, do you guys have any other questions or comments before we depart? All right, then all we need is somebody to make a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Alright.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? All right, 5-0 unanimous vote, so we're good.